Okay. Well, good afternoon, fellow mid-careers. We made it. Look at us now. We made it. Yeah. I'm not just talking about graduation. We made it to the end of hybrid speech. But say at the end of this week, we'll all be able to stand tall and proudly, but discreetly, say that we are Harvard graduates. And I must say that I'm very humbled to be able to address you today, although it is a little bit stressful for me. I actually agonized for a long time over what I would say to all of you. It's not an easy task. You guys are a tough crowd. And I feel like over the past year, we've developed some sort of social contract. You're only willing to listen to me to the extent that I might be able to entertain you with observations of what I find stupid about things. If I were to violate this contract, if I were to stand here and maybe try and inspire you, then I know there will be factions that will try to assassinate me. And then that's how we roll here in the John F. Kennedy School. We like to toss around words like assassinate freely. You might be walking around the hallways one afternoon and you hear something like, oh, Shazmir assassinated Heifetz last week. This is nothing to worry about though. All it means is like Shazmir may or may not have said some hurtful things about Professor Heifetz in the past 7 days. It's nothing serious, you don't have to call the police. Anyway, as I was trying to figure out what I would say to you, I thought I would seek inspiration from the great commencement speeches of the past. And after I watched like 15 of those, I began to pick up on a pattern. Almost every single one involves some sort of call for us to go out, find our passion in life, and go and make the world a better place. This is especially true for speeches in HKS. After all, our motto is, ask what you can do. But I find this trend incredibly troubling. And I'm about to tell you why. You see, Harvard just turned 375 years old. And HKS just turned 75. And I gather that nearly every graduating cohort of the past 375 years has been sent on their way after attending an event such as this, where someone or other has told them, go out, find your passion in life, and make the world a better place. And so by my calculation, that means Harvard alone is responsible for pumping something like 1 million people out there, all with the mission of improving the world. And I ask myself, how is that working out for the world? And if I'm really honest, it just feels to me like the world's actually getting worse. If we were to chart the number of Harvard graduates trying to improve the world against how nice a place the world would be, we get an inverse relationship. It seems like the more of us there are out there, the crappier the world becomes. Now, I am not trying to suggest that we are somehow, in our attempt to improve the world, making it a worse place. That would not forgive me at this point if I mistook correlation for causation. So what I'm actually suggesting is that we run some sort of randomized experiment to find out for sure. This is how it would work. Let's say 1 year, we would tell the cohort, everyone in the cohort, that they should go out and make the world a crappier place. Go out and make a happier place. And then at the end of that, we take a look at some predetermined indicators to see if the world has improved. And I know what you're thinking at this point. We also need a control test. So we would have another cohort where all the commencement week speakers would just go ahead and tell them to go out into the world and do nothing. I actually think wouldn't that be great? Imagine a whole bunch of students sitting down waiting for some pearls of wisdom from Fareed Zakaria, and all he said was, class of 2012. As you stand on the brink of history today, I want to urge each and every one of you to go out and make no impact whatsoever. Perhaps you should stay at home and discuss the role of religion in Cuba in the forum. we should begin this experiment this year. And I would go and tell all of you, go out into the world and ignore your passion. Unless your passion happens to be screwing things up badly for everybody. Ask what you can do to make the world lousier. But then, I figured that would be quite dangerous. I mean, to be honest, I've come to know a lot of you quite well over the past year. And I must say, with the greatest respect and admiration, that some of you really frickin' scare me. I cannot even begin to imagine the untold chaos that would face the world if we somehow let troops out there to make the world a worse place. And the risks are just too great. No. I recommend we start this experiment with next year's cohort when, let's face it, the stakes are lower. I know I don't need to tell you because you already know, but let's say we are the best, most fabulous group of mid-careers the Harvard Kennedy School has ever had. This is an undisputed fact, regardless of what Amy Davies might tell you. Years from now, I know we will look back on this day and think, yep, quality of students really dropped after we left. And so, given how powerful, how gifted, how fabulous a group of people we are, I feel the only responsible thing I can say to you today is that you have to go out in the world, find your passion, and make the world a better place. Cheers!